The mountains of California, they've always been a place of wonder, a place where the air feels alive, carrying the scent of pine, earth, and wildflowers. A place where wildlife thrives and the rhythm of nature can be felt in every rustling leaf and every bird's song. For centuries, these lands stood as a testament to the beauty and resilience of our planet. But even the strongest, most enduring places can face moments of unimaginable pain. The wildfire that tore through Los Angeles recently was one of those moments, a reminder that nature, though beautiful, can also be unforgiving. It started small, just a spark that seemed so insignificant, so harmless, but under the right conditions, the tiny spark grew into a monster. Fueled by dry winds and parched forests, the fire roared to life, consuming everything in its path with an insatiable hunger. Within hours, this inferno spread across the landscape, devouring trees, grasslands, and everything that stood in its way. The speed was terrifying. The flames, towering stories high, moved faster than anyone could have predicted. Imagine the chaos, the fear, families grabbing what little they could, photo albums, a beloved pet, and fleeing their homes, unsure if they'd have anything to return to. The sky turned a sickening shade of orange. Thick smoke blanketed the air, and ash fell like snow, coating everything in a layer of destruction. For the firefighters, this was their worst nightmare. Battling a wildfire isn't just a job, it's a test of endurance, strength, and sheer willpower. They worked tirelessly, their faces smeared with soot, their bodies drenched in sweat. Each step was a fight against exhaustion as they lugged heavy hoses, dug fire breaks, and faced temperatures hot enough to melt metal. They fought on steep, rugged terrain where loose rocks and fallen trees made every move treacherous. The choking smoke made it hard to breathe, and the roar of the flames was deafening. Every moment was unpredictable. Winds could shift, turning a safe zone into a death trap in seconds. Some firefighters worked 24-hour shifts, catching only moments of rest in the back of their trucks. They were far from their families, knowing that every minute they weren't out there battling the flames, the fire gained more ground. But even with their bravery and relentless efforts, over 150,000 acres of wilderness were reduced to ash. Entire ecosystems were wiped out in mere hours. And the animals, they suffered most of all. These forests were their home, their sanctuary. The deer that grazed in open meadows, the foxes that darted through the underbrush, the birds that soared above the treetops, all forced to flee as the flames closed in. Many didn't make it. Their instincts told them to run, but the fire was too fast, too all-encompassing. It's estimated that over 10,000 animals perished. Birds fell from the sky as their wings were scorched by the heat. Small mammals, unable to outrun the flames, found themselves trapped. Even the larger predators, the mountain lions, the bears, were not spared. For those that did survive, the aftermath was just as cruel. Their once familiar world had been reduced to a barren wasteland. Trees that once provided shade and food were now charred skeletons. Streams and waterholes, vital for survival, were polluted with ash. Rescue teams worked tirelessly, scouring the burnt landscape for survivors. They found animals with singed fur and scorched paws, trembling from both pain and fear. These creatures were taken to rehabilitation centers where they were given the care they needed to heal. Feeding stations were set up in the forest to provide food and water to those that remained. Despite the devastation, nature has an incredible ability to heal. Even in the blackened soil, signs of life are beginning to emerge. Tiny green shoots push through the ash, defying the destruction around them. These small signs of regrowth remind us that, given time, the forest will recover. But this fire wasn't just an act of nature, it was a wake-up call. Climate change is making wildfires more frequent and more intense. Rising temperatures and prolonged droughts have turned our forests into tinderboxes, just waiting for a spark. This isn't just a problem for California. Across the globe, we're seeing the same patterns. Forests burning at unprecedented rates, wildlife habitats destroyed, and entire communities displaced. Experts warn that unless we take action, these fires will only grow worse. We need better forest management practices, controlled burns to clear out dead vegetation, better monitoring of high-risk areas, and stricter regulations to prevent human-caused fires. But more importantly, we need to tackle the root cause, climate change. We must reduce our carbon emissions, transition to renewable energy, and protect the natural world. Because every action we take, no matter how small, makes a difference. Yet amidst all this, it's important to remember that fire, as destructive as it is, also plays a role in the cycle of life. Some plants rely on fire to release their seeds, and the ash left behind enriches the soil. In time, the forest will return, stronger and more vibrant than before. Communities are already coming together to rebuild. Volunteers are planting trees, restoring habitats, and supporting wildlife conservation efforts. These acts of kindness and resilience show us that, even in the face of tragedy, there is hope. This wildfire was a tragedy, but it also serves as a powerful reminder of the fragility of our world. Nature is beautiful, but it's also vulnerable. It's up to us to protect it, to cherish it, and to ensure that future generations can experience its wonders. The forest will heal, the animals will return, and life will go on. But let's not forget the lessons we've learned. Let's honor the bravery of those who fought to save what they could and commit to doing everything in our power to prevent this from happening again. Because when we lose nature, we lose a part of ourselves. And that's a loss we cannot afford.